Bambili Kamalanko's corner. Unama 13 bedrooms, ne? So a question from Umlambo, I need tenants, 28. How do you go about being approved by any university, ne? Okay. So on that part, you need to be approved by university or NFSAS. Ukuza ukwazi ukuthi abantwana bekwazi ukuthi benze njani bezohlala bese khokha bani. Yes. So kunama requirements ukuthi iproperty yakho fanele ibe nani. Fanele ikhombise ukuthi convenient awusquash abahlali, awusquash abafundi, and ama desk akhona, i-wifi khona, i-security khona, and indawo i-secure, ama CCTV camera khona, and then i-transport amanye ama-university ayiprovide, but kwezinye indawo they will need you to also organize transport for students and all those sort of things. So each and every university has ama requirements. Sometimes ahlukayo kancane kwamanye. So nama-TVET as well. And bayabhala nase mabekhipha ama request for quotations. Bebhala ukuthi sifuna imbhede u-23 upwards or imbhede engaka upwards, then ufake futhi nawe i-proposal. That is a request for proposal. So please do visit Mlambo, your nearest universities, bazokwazi ukuthi bakuncedise. All right. Can the bank help me with the building if you have a site? If there's such, what is it called? So the Klompo Mokwena is asking if the bank can assist me if I have a site. So yes, you can go to the bank and apply for a building loan. All right? So it's called what? A building loan. Because there are different types of loans. Maybe when time allows, we'll also talk about that. So a building loan is what is relevant to you. Mbui Mangwana, I have a life cover and I'm self-employed. Can I use it to buy the house? You are not necessarily using the life cover to buy the house. But the life cover is needed when you buy a house. Why? When you happen maybe to die, the life cover can also pay your debts. Can pay off what? Your property. So that your kids won't be homeless. So that's another part you need to understand. So when you are buying property, it's always necessary to do what? To have a life cover. And you must indicate, you must choose the life cover that can pay off your debts, everything before it goes to beneficiaries. Are we together on that part? Yeah. Some other time we'll teach you about different types of life covers and why it's important. And I will do that today. All right. Is there an agency you can recommend that accept part-time intern agents? On the Black Prop, we accept virtual agencies, meaning that you can be our agent in Newcastle. Guess what? So that when we have a listing, emadadeni, nome Abba Park, nome Ngandu, we simply send you there. With our photographer, atatama photograph, you do the paperwork, and then you will be getting 50% commission from the wholesale in terms of any business. So not necessarily part-time, but we call it virtual. All right? So that is why we have agents in the Eastern Cape, PE, and East London. They are virtual, and we are marketing even in that space. So not necessarily part-time. But there are few agencies that accept the part-time. So you have a live question. Yes, sir.
Building loan bank.
Yes.
Uma ngabe uthathe i-building loan umuntu yakhona no qualify for a FLISP.
All right. Yes. If you are to build as well, it's no longer called the FLISP. It's a first home finance. It's now called what? First home finance. Yes, absolutely, you do qualify. You can have a building loan and also get what? A FLISP. Provided you are earning below 22,000 and above 3.5. Yes. I will teach you about first home finance as well, so that you will get to understand all the requirements. My brother, please remind me before we finish. Yes. Yes, ma. If Lispi, first home finance, grant yama first time buyers, those people who are buying property for the first time, kune grant ebizwa ngokuthi Lispi. Now it's called FHF, first home finance, under human settlement. It's for South Africans who are first home buyers, and you can get up to almost 200,000 as a grant, meaning that is the money you are not paying back. Yes, ma'am. Mauhlala rulers, ne? Yes, even in rulers, you must have permission to occupy, PTO. Yes, PTO, Mayikona, you can also qualify to get a grant if Lisp. But you must have a letter that says you've been allocated that particular land. Yes, my sister.
Yeah. So ngicela ukubuza when it comes to first home finance, mina ngihlala eduze le-TVET college. So I
Yeah.
see vele ukuthi we do not have student accommodation. So nginga-apply le-first home finance when I want to build ama-bedrooms so that I can rent, so I can use for rent for ama-students. Yenzeka yini?
Yes, kuyenzeka. Whether you want to buy or build, you can apply for first home finance, provided you are earning between 3.5 and 22,000. Yes. I will take two more questions, and then from online, in 32 more questions. Let me start with you, Brother Man. Sane Sondel, so that better sebenzisa le mic.
Hello. Okay, I want to ask about when you are buying with deceased estate, the things that you must be careful of when it's a deceased estate as a buyer.
As a buyer. So if we deceased estate and you are a buyer, that property must be wended up first. All right? So if it's still the property you are buying is still under the deceased name, the transfer won't be possible until there's a new member from the family who's been appointed and given the power of attorney. Because if, let's say, it was mother's house and the mother died, but she had 4 daughters, the daughters must appoint one person who will be able to sign. So that person is given the power of attorney, meaning that that person must process the winding up of any estate. You understand? So after that, saying awazi ukuthi sale ibe possible. But mawuthenga i-deceased estate, more especially elokishini, la nithengisana khona ngo-cash, nivumelane, wena sewufuna ukushintsha i-title deed, akusenzeki ngoba manje samele indaba ibuyele emuva. It's a deceased estate. There was no power of attorney appointed and all those sort of things because mawubuka kukithi la, one member of the family can sell indlu kagogo, amanye amamendokazi abuya azofight. When a buyer, you end up losing money. So the estate must be winded up first before all transfers can be possible. Or umuntu one-power of attorney, okusho ukuthi siyamnikeza oyedwa wefamily ukuthi asayine sonke siyavuma as abantwana bakabani baka-deceased. So now transfer will now move from deceased to you. Based on that, there must be some power of attorney in place.
Also, uma ngabe let's say the property dies by estate agent, where do you get the information who's got the power?
All right, that estate agent must provide you with the whole information. Is it in the process of transfer from deceased to a newly appointed person? What is happening? That must be up to date. Ube ne-information ephelele, you understand? Nama estate agent uyayi-check i-agent ukuthi ibhalisiwe yini ka-PPRA, yinayo yini FFC current, all right, valid FFC. You can check that online from PPRA website. Agent wakubhala igama lakhe, ucheck i-validity. Musu move mic ntwana, ucheck i-validity yani this FFC. All right, I hope you are answered a little bit. There was another hand up. Okay, this side, Sane. All right. So I've got 3 minutes, then I close up my questions.
Also, a quick one. Ngicela ukubuza ukuthi if there's any advice that you would give to a younger person who wanna enter the property game and be successful at that game, if mhlawumbe unga-include neyincwadi. Then the second question it's a quick one. Besides refinancing, yiphi enye method khona esetshenziswayo to create a successful property portfolio?
All right. In terms of refinancing in property, it differs, ne? There are times where if you may decide to refinance and have a second bond. So, meaning that you are not necessarily withdrawing from your bond, but you are taking a second bond on one property. So, meaning that you've borrowed more money against what? Your property. That is refinancing. Another option you can use is to first ask the bank to do the valuation of your property. Let's say you bought your property 10 years ago and your property value was 500,000. But now the value is how much? $1 million. So the bank can do the valuation and then put your property at a 1 million range. It means if you go back to them, you can have an excess of the other 500,000. The third option, if you are an individual who add on the bond repayments, so you pay extra, you can be able to withdraw those monies if you have a flexi or an excess bond. Okay? So there are those options that are available. For me, sometimes if you need money, I do not recommend that you refinance and have 2 home loans for one property and all those sort of things. What I can recommend is that when you are still fine, doing well just like you are doing now, simply add more on your property. If your bond is 6,000, make it 6.2, 6.3. Or if interest rates are dropping, just remain at a higher level. Ask them not to change. You can fix them at a higher level. If you are affording to pay at this higher interest rate, and when they start to fall, remain on the high, you will be advancing what? Your payments. It means you will be paying even extra. In terms of the book, I would recommend that you also visit our YouTube. Last week on Ukos FM, I think I was sharing 14 property books you can read. Who are listening? Yeah, great. Yeah, so please visit our YouTube. The list is there and so forth. I like the fact that you like to read. Do you have a copy of my money book? Or you need a copy today? Let me take the last question from We Buy Cars. Ipi Mike. Yes.
Yebo, bengisacela ukubuza ngizwa ngokukhuluma ukuthi interest rate sometimes kuyenzeka uthola ukuthi iyehla, so wena the best option mawukhokhela iproperty you must remain kule installment kade uyikhokha.
Yes.
Uzokwazi ukuthi i-time frame yakhona uyishaye.
Yeah.
By so doing ushaya ne-interest yakhona.
Perfect.
Interest isebenza in line with i-time frame. So ngisacela ukubuza la ku-property ikhona yini lento abathi ilokhuzana i-yield or i-fixed interest?
Yes. With property, you can have a fixed rate or a variable rate. Yes. So if you have a variable rate, it means uma kunyuka ama interest rate nemali oyikhokhayo kwibond yakho yenze njani? Iyanyuka. Ma fixed imali remain the same every month. Ngiyezwala? Bakhona phakathi kwethu ababonile ukuthi from November 2021 interest rate inyuke 10 times. And there are high probabilities ukuthi izonyuka next month again. But ngifuna ukucheck ukuthi bakhona ba experience that change. Yes, kakhulu ne? Yeah. So if you have a fixed, it remains the same. If you have variable, every time there are changes, then it goes up, and if it drop, yenze njani? Shona phansi. Nasezimotweni same thing. So let me take the very last question. This one, I think it was from TikTok. So that we accommodate everyone. Amanye questions will be answered as we go along in this space. But there was an interesting one. This person was saying, I'm applying for a bond. Let me check, where is this question? Where is this? 1 second nje. Yokugcina le ibe i-question e-interest kakhulu. I'm in a process to buy property of 330. Standard Bank gave me a quotation of 12.75 interest rate. Total payback is 1.6 million. Just imagine, the property is 330. Total payback is 1.6 million. They gave him a 30 years home loan. All right? So, this was just more like a quotation. So he has to accept or decline. So he was asking the question so that he get a proper advice. I said, that is ridiculous. Like the total interest after 30 years is 1.6 million and the property is 330. The first thing, if you afford to do, don't take 30 years. You have an option. Don't take what? 30 years. In 30 years, you'll pay even more. As much as your installment may be lower. Look at this property. The value of property is 330. And after 30 years, you paid 1.3 million extra. We are not talking about the cost of owning property, like rates, fixing things, electricity, and all. We are not talking about that. We are still talking about the money that will go to the bank. What does that mean? It means this guy, if can go for 30-year loan at a 12.75%, he will buy the bank 5 more properties of 330. So it's not what? A good idea. Are you learning something out of this? Yes. All right, because the most important thing is to learn. Sane, I'm taking the last one here. I'm taking the last one here. Yes.
Bengizocela ukuthi mhlamba usinikeze ukuthi yiphi indlela engcono yokuthi ukwazi ukuthi usheshe uqede ngoba ngicabanga ukuthi lo mbuzo ubuzwa umuntu ongafuni ukuqeda.
Usho kanje. Okay. Ubaba ubuza indlela yokusheshe. You understand? All right. Asike siye kuyona ke manje impendulo yakhe ubaba. Okay? So for now ngiyabonga Nkanyiso.